Hey, good evening, everybody online. And why do I have so much advertising? Let's see. Oh man, we got quite the crowd online. Cold brewed iced coffee. Yes. Too bad we couldn't have you guys talk on this YouTube stream as well. It'd make it interesting, that's for sure. Yeah, let's see what time it. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Guess what time that is? Good evening, everybody. This is Laird, VE3LKS, and welcome to the COVID-19 Rag Chew, Week 13, Wednesday night edition. And what does Wednesday night mean? It means wide open Wednesdays. Any topic you want to talk about, as long as it's above board and suitable for family consumption, we're game to talk about. Anyways, I'll take a standby, make sure my cursor's on the right spreadsheet cell, and I'll start taking check-ins. Well, someone's trying.
Echo 3, Papa Whiskey Juliet. VA3 AMP.
Alex!
The E3 CRU. E3 HIX. RB. Papa Sierra. Victor Echo 3, Victor Golf Juliet. Victor Alpha 3 Delta Charlie Echo. Victor Echo 3 Charlie Quebec Kilo. Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Golf.
Okay, I'll tell you what I got, and I know I missed one, at least one, but I'll tell you what I've got so far. I've got VE3PWJ, that's Peter, VA3AMP Alex, and glad to have you with us tonight, Alex, and you sounded just full of energy. So I imagine you're not on the Lazy Boy tonight. VE3CRU Bill, VE3HIX Bob, VE3IRB Robert, VA3TPS Steve, VE3VGJ Joe, VA3DCE Doug, and VA3AG Aldo. And I know there was one near the end that I missed. So I'll take another standby and we'll listen for more check-ins.
VA3BTQ.
Victor Echo 3 Charlie Quebec Kilo. VE3 ITX. VE3 RPN.
Scotty. Okay, I'll tell you what I heard that time. I heard one station trying to identify, but you're breaking the the carrier on the repeater, but it's just static. There's no audio. Then I had VA3 BTQ, another distance station, but I was able to make out the call sign. I believe it was Victor Echo 3 Charlie Quebec Zulu. That's a new one to me tonight. So welcome to the COVID-19 Rag Chew. And if you have a bit more power, maybe just crank it up one notch. VE3 IGX Cam, VE3 RPN Scott. And let's take another standby. Maybe that first station that was barely making it in has had a chance to maybe crank up his power as well, or maybe turn his antenna or get in a bit better spot. Let's try that one again.
BA3 Romeo Tango Victor, and I'm portable in Pickering.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Quebec Kilo, Charles Queen King.
Okay, very good. I acknowledge Jeffrey there, portable in Pickering, and VE3 Charlie Quebec King. Sorry about that, old man, but I do have that now corrected, and got you in the log. And just sort of curiosity, what's your first name?
First name here is Scott, Sierra Charlie Oscar Tango Tango.
Okay, very good, Scott. Well, welcome to the COVID-19 Rag Chew this evening. And we got quite a list here already, man. There's 14 people checked in. We do have a few more on the YouTube streaming channel that we have going. Darren, he's one of our members. He's in Montreal and working from there. And was there anybody else? I think everyone else sort of checked in here. Oh, Gary Zed. He's an SWL. And yeah, it's a bit hot out there, Gary. I'll agree with you there. I was out a few times today. I actually love the heat. So during breaks, during work, I just go out in the backyard and stretch out and enjoy the heat. And with that, we will go to the top of the list. And gentlemen, it is Wide Open Wednesday. So whatever you would like to talk about, we're game for. Just a reminder, though, that we are having that Zoom meeting on Sunday at 7 p.m. And so if you're going to be working field day this year, and even if you're not, if you just want something to do, just make sure you email me. And my email is my call sign, Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra at yahoo.ca. And let me know you want to be part of the Zoom meeting. And we're going to be discussing the field day logging software that we'll be using, and sort of the rules and regs that are applying to this year's revised edition of Field Day. So it should be an interesting evening. And I'm also going to send out, when I send out the invite, I'm going to send out a good video I found today on the software as well. It's really good. So with that, we will go to Peter, VE3PWJ. And I guess let me take, before I go to Peter, is there anyone that's that needs to get away due to a time constraint? If so, please come now.
Yeah, Jeffrey here, BA3 Romeo Tango Victor. I'm at my friend's house, and I'll be at least a half an hour, so I'll check back with you later if that's okay. BA3 RTV.
Okay, Jeffrey. Well, you were number 14 on the list, so it may be half an hour anyways. It looks like it's going to be one of those nice leisurely evenings, and we probably won't get done till about 8:15 or so, I would guess. Okay, take it away, Peter, and good evening.
Good evening, Laird, and all the good folks on the net there tonight. Sounds like you got a good crew. Lots of beans, that's for sure. And sounds like we got a lot of weather heading this way around about 8:30 by the looks of the weather map there. And I just had to go over to that place in Mitson Road. The keyboard on this computer up in this room just decided it wasn't going to work at all anymore. It's been doing it in stages, Laird. It would you type in part of a word and it would miss it, and all of a sudden it would turn back up. I don't understand that, but this seemed to have repaired the thing. So go ahead and get lots more beans, and we'll listen along there, Laird. Over to you.
Yeah, I think this COVID-19 is wearing out parts quicker than normal because we're spending more time at home and online. I had to replace my keyboard, but I just went over to Canada Computers, and I actually got a backlit one this time. and it wasn't all that expensive. I thought it was going to be like $100. I think I paid less than 30 for it, but it's nice because now when it's at nighttime, if I'm doing some DXing, I don't have to have all the lights on, but I can still see all the letters on the keyboard, which is good for an old guy like me. VA3 AMP Alex, and good to hear you tonight.
Good evening there, Larry. Yeah, that's why you don't have when you don't have the lights on there. You don't have to watch them dim when you're on HF. Yeah, I'm in a lazy boy, but I had a power nap in the chair, so we're a little perkier. But yeah, it's been pretty warm there today. I've got the fans on there, too cheap turning the AC on. Unless it gets humid, then we'll fire it up. But yeah, the last couple of nights there, I've been kind of run down there from work to go like a racehorse there when I'm at work. And then you come home and you relax. Next thing you doze off. I was going to get in there one night there. I fell asleep and missed it. Back to you.
Okay, very good, Alex. Well, glad to hear you're still busy and making a living, and that's always a good thing. But we're also glad you joined us this evening, and sounding good as always. This I didn't turn the AC on until later this afternoon, and if it was up to me, I probably would have left it off. I didn't find it all that bad in the house, and there was enough of a breeze blowing through that usually as long as there's a breeze, I'm okay. But some of the other members of the family disagreed with me, and of course my office is in the basement, and so that makes it cooler too. And they didn't see eye to eye, so we finally ended up closing the windows and turning on the AC. VE3HIX, Bob.
Good evening, everyone. VE3HIX. And good evening, Laird. I'll just be on for this one time. I got a couple of things to do outside before I arrange, but I'll be listening for a little while here. Wide Open Wednesday. Let's see, I learned something today. For change, I was changing, believe it or not, antifreeze on my Vespa, that red scooter I've got. Yes, it has a water-cooled engine. And I found out that when a vehicle from Europe comes with the original antifreeze in it, the stuff does not have as much anti-corrosive in it as an American antifreeze has, even if it's the same spec. So it was shown by a mechanic online who had a plug, that is a frost plug, as they call it, made out of steel in an aluminum head on a vehicle. It had corroded right out in 5 years using the European antifreeze because the guy never changed the antifreeze. Whereas the American stuff is, they say change it every 5 years. The Europeans change it every 2 years. So, as they say, the next time you buy a BMW or a Mercedes or a Bugatti, be sure to change your antifreeze for the American stuff after 2 years. Back to you there, VE3HIX, and I'll bet your Yamaha doesn't take any antifreeze, right?
Yeah, it's strictly air-cooled, Bob, and when you get it up to like 35 miles an hour, when the hair is blowing in the breeze and everything else, it just air-cooled. So, very good. I need to get working on that sometime, but I just don't have the time. I gotta get retired like some of you guys, so I can have time to tinker. And very good, yeah, and. Yeah, I guess my next car may have to be a Bugatti, but we'll see. Do they still sell the Veyrons? I know they're not the fastest car anymore, but they're still pretty cool. VE3 IRB, Robert, good evening.
VE3 IRB, I have a Hyundai, so no problem there. Premium Korean products come with everything. Perfect. Anyways, not much to add. I've downloaded the software. I've paid my money. I haven't got my password yet. So I'm making progress there. I haven't put the connector on yet, but I did watch the video you sent me. I also watched one of somebody soldering it on. I definitely like your idea better of just twisting it on. So So I actually got my vise cleaned off today so I can clamp it and twist it on. Back to you.
Excellent, excellent. I know I've only done it on a few antennas so far, but but when you get that twisted on, I think it's probably on there stronger than solder, anyways. With the amount of force you got to use to get it on there, and it's, as I say, it's working great. I've got it on the LMR 400 here, and the LMR 400 is the same thickness as the coax that you have, so it should be no problem. And and again, the only thing that I soldered was when you cut the extra center core off that sticks out the end of the connector, just put a drop of coax in there, and so it feeds back down and makes that one a nice firm connection. But other than that, yeah, it works great. VA3 TPS, man, this is my lucky day, Steve. I've got to talk to you twice in one day.
Okay, good evening, Larry, and everybody on frequency tonight. Well, there you go, right? Not much to add. Hot day up here at the lake. Spent the day working on the white new check furniture, assembling it. The guy with his stuff over. But anyway, that's another story. And just waiting for the storm. Looks like it's going to hit us pretty good, so I'm going to be shut down in another hour or so for sure. And hopefully we won't lose our new deck furniture. Back to you, Larry.
Yes, very good. Well, hopefully it'll match the neighbor's deck, and so they can use it when it blows over to their yard. Did you get all the rest of the chairs assembled, or do you still have a couple to go?
No, I stuck it out, got all 6 of them assembled and sitting in the garage, or wait till after the storm, take them out tomorrow.
Yeah, very good. As the old saying goes, why to do today what you can put off for tomorrow? Very good, Steve. VE3 VGJ Joe.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency. Yes, it was actually, I got back. It wasn't that bad today from work when I got home, and it was a bit overcast. The sun wasn't beating down. Managed to get the grass cut, and it was kind of nice with that breeze blowing. And did a little work outside there on one of the antennas and had some fun there. And since it's wide open Wednesdays, remember we talked about that landslide over in Norway? They got the footage there of that huge piece of land about 2,000 feet wide sliding. And I did a little looking around and why that happened, and that sort of thing is quite common apparently. And a lot of the northern countries, including Canada, have a thing called quick clay, and it's kind of interesting. If you want to look into it, just Google quick clay. And what actually happens during one of those landslides, it's quite interesting. Back to you.
Okay, very good, Joe. I just want to be clear. Are you saying foot as in the thing that's at the bottom of your leg?
What do you mean? I'm saying quick clay.
See, it's a good thing you cleared that up for me. I thought you were saying foot clay. Okay, very good. We'll have to check into that and see what that is. I remember seeing a video on that or a news article. So now I've got something more to look into. And that's the problem with the internet, man. You can go down rabbit holes really quickly. Let's see. Next up on the list, Doug, VA3 DCE, up there in Uxbridge. How's it going?
Good evening, Laird, everybody on the net tonight. It's going really great. It's a beautiful part of the day. I started the day this morning sitting on my balcony in the middle of a thunderstorm with the pouring rain, drinking my morning coffee, and it was beautiful. I didn't get out riding the bike. I figured, why start off wet when I can wait till later and see what happens. Anyway, this Wide Open Wednesday is throwing me a bit of a curve here, Laird. What do you want me to talk about? Is there something particular you'd like me to talk about? Otherwise, I got nothing to say. Back to you.
Well, I guess a question for you, Doug. If you started the morning off with a thunderstorm, are you going to end the evening, end the day with a thunderstorm sitting out on the balcony with a cup of coffee?
That is a possibility, but I can't guarantee that. I'm having coffee now, so it may put me right to sleep. Back to you, Laird.
Yeah, and for those who are on YouTube, I'm having coffee too, but it's cold. It's what they call ice brewed, or sorry, cold brewed iced coffee, and made that up this afternoon, and enjoying a nice cup of that right now. The only thing is, coffee makes me stay awake, so I was just about passing out at 6 o'clock, and now I'm wide awake. VA3AG Aldo, good evening.
Good evening, Laird, and everyone else on the repeater. Just playing with my Nano VNA here, driving me up the wall. I don't think it's behaving the way it's supposed to behave. Or it could be just me that doesn't know how to run it. But I managed to do the calibration, turn it off, turn it back on. I got rid of some of the traces that I didn't want. I left just the SWR one. And now something happened. I don't know what happened, but I'm back to having issues again. I don't think this thing is working the way it's supposed to work. Anyway, I'll keep playing with it and see what happens. Maybe after the chat here, maybe Joe and I can get together there somewhere. Joe, what do you think of that?
Yeah, sure. There, although you gotta note that I do most of my work there with the using the Nano itself as sort of a black box. I don't do much work with the screen on it. I have it connected to the software there and use it from the computer and do my calibrations and all measurements with the computer. Back to you.
Okay. Well, I don't have the software installed on the computer yet because I did follow the link from the website, the Oshawa website, and when I got there, I did download the EXE file. I think it was 0.22.1 EXE, and I activated it, and the only thing I got was a black screen, a minimized black screen, nothing on it. So I don't know if that's the program or what it is. But anyway, Joe, if you wouldn't mind, maybe after the chats here, maybe we can get together here on the repeater, and maybe you can straighten me out.
Yeah, sure, no problem there, Aldo. And just remember, when you boot that software up, it does come up with a black screen, and then there's another screen that follows it. So anyway, we won't tie this net up on you there, Laird. Back to you there, Aldo.
Okay, very good. Sounds interesting. I'll stick around for that too, I think. And the winner of the Look Who I Missed Tonight award goes to Bill, VE3CRU. I think I just realized, I think I may have missed Bill. Sorry about that, Bill, but the good thing is when it's the second turn, it'll be a lot quicker than if you had to wait all over again. VE3CRU, VE3LKS.
VE3LKS and group assembled, VE3CRU. This is wide open Wednesday. I'm sitting here in the same grid square as the repeater, but diagonally opposite. I'm still in FN03 Mike Alpha, but I am at the old fire hall at Myrtle, about a few kilometers west of White Feather Farms. So you should have no problem hearing me. I'm having no problem hearing you. But first of all, Scott, VE3CQK, Scott will be active on the weekend contesting using on 2 meters a 4-element beam somebody else gave him, and a 6-element beam that I made up for the test. And Scott, I have to apologize for our net control. Laird is so hung up on FT8 outside of contesting that he tends to get confused. If he was a contester, he'd be razor sharp because, as you know, we really punch it out when we're contesting. So anyway, I've got three antennas up here right now that I put up for the to listen on the weekend. You may not hear my call at all, but I've got 1296, I've got 902, and I've got 222 902 and 222 are FM, which fits in quite nicely with everybody here. So as I say, with that nice little dig at Laird, I'll turn it back to Laird for his comeback. VE3 LKS, VE3 CRU.
Well, good. I think Bill's finally done talking. Bill, we couldn't make out anything you said there. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure where you are, but it was just a lot of static, and we could just hear your voice occasionally. No, just joking. You're just fine, and I probably deserved that dig, and no problem. I can give them out. I can take them, and yeah, very good on Scott there. I guess you're familiar with Scott, so that's excellent, and hope you guys do well this weekend in the contest. And speaking of FT8, I got mine working again. My software. What it ended up being is I was moving a bunch of cables around this weekend in the shack, and I accidentally pulled out the sound cable going into the radio just enough that it wasn't making proper connection. Now that it's back in, I'm decoding FT8 perfectly and getting all revved up for field day. Let's see who's next. VA3 BTQ Jackie.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody online. Our day was very quiet. We did an hour of yoga and a couple of hours of riding. Cut the grass, and then I took Scamp out for an air-conditioned ride, and that's good. Over.
Well, that's still quite a bit, for taking it easy, Jackie. That's still a pretty busy day. Although I'm not sure whose grass she cut, because I went out tonight after supper and mine wasn't cut. So, maybe tomorrow you can drop by and do that for me. Hi. Yes, it was interesting. I was out, when was it? I guess it was out this morning in my backyard. And I've got a couple of chipmunks that have become quite good friends of mine. And they'll come and eat right out of my hand, and I can pet them and everything else. But I was out there just relaxing. I was leaning back, had my eyes closed, and I was out there for about 10 or 15 minutes. And all of a sudden I felt something on my hand, and when I just opened my eyes, and there was one of the chipmunks, and he was trying to nudge my hand with his nose to see if there was any peanuts under it. And so of course I had to go in the house and get some peanuts and give him some nuts. So it was good. He waited patiently for me, and he was happy that he did. Glad you had a great day there, Jackie. VE3 CQK, and Scott, I'm sorry that you're acquainted with Bill, but glad to have you with us this evening. Take it away. I hope we didn't make Scott fall asleep, or maybe he had to go somewhere else. Let's give him one more shot here. VE3 CQK, Scott. Okay, well, we'll try him again later, and maybe he had to step aside for a few minutes. VE3 IGX Cam.
Good evening, Laird, and everyone on frequency. Didn't get golfing this morning, but this morning I put up my 33-foot telescopic pole with the G5RV hooked on the top in a spot that I thought I would like it, but didn't have enough room for laying out the wires. So it was a matter of taking it all down, doing a little refiguring, and now I think I got a spot I can put it and run the wires. Okay. Definitely, I would prefer putting it up at Purple Woods, but whatever. So we give it on back to you. VE3 LKS, VE3 IGX.
Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, very good, Cam. Too bad you didn't get out golfing. I mean, after that rain last night or early this morning, whatever it was, would have made the course nice and playable. And let's see, we do have another person online here. Well, first of all, Gary Zed says the storm line is predicting it'll be in Toronto around midnight, 1 p.m. in Oshawa. The iced coffee's coming back on me. Let's see. Did a good luck getting a good night's sleep? Well, you know what's funny, Gary? The last storm we had come through here, windows wide open. I slept like a baby. Thunderstorms are sort of like a lullaby to me. You know, the more vicious they are, the more I sleep. Let's see. And Lois. Good evening, Lois. And good to have you with us. Lois is, of course, the much better half of Jeffrey, RTV. And did you get out golfing today? I know you were looking at, I think, playing 2 rounds today, if I'm remembering right, or at least you were going to Sunnybury, I think, and then possibly over to Royal Ashburn. Anyways, just start typing there online, Lois, and we'll find out. VE3 RPN, Scott.
VE3 LKS, VE3 RPN. Good evening there, Laird. Doing a great job as usual. And, gee, you know, you've got almost a perfect net tonight. You got 2 Scots on here. I don't think you could get more perfect. And as for being comfortable, I thought, now, if your office is where you are down in the basement, I thought the closer you are to the center of the earth, the hotter it gets. Anyway, buddy, hopefully, you know, you can get rid of those horns eventually. But what else can I say? Somebody took my Outback, well, it's a substitute to an Outback antenna. They didn't get the wire, so they can't adjust the lengths, and they're going to have to put a new coax on it. However, they probably don't know what it is. They probably think it's a flute or something with those little holes. And the only thing is, it's got the metal on the other end. Anyway, you never know. I didn't care. It needed a little bit of work. I got another one I'm putting up there later on. There's nothing else exciting. I got a little breeze up here by East Sides up in the north end, and just a tiny, tiny touch. I don't know, you probably have your fur coat on trying to stay warm there. Actually, I like that too, though, Laird. I'm out in the sun, so whenever I can, I'm a sun nut. Anyway, living down the desert, what the heck? Keep up the good work, buddy. We'll be listening on the side there. VE3 LKS, VE3 RPM.
Very good, Scotty. And just letting you know, your milkshake evaporated, and so did my iced coffee. So I don't know how that happens. And yeah, as a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I had to turn my micro furnace on in the office this afternoon because it was actually too chilly. You know, the air conditioning unit, the furnace air conditioning is right outside my door here, and it's going, you know, keeping the rest of the house nice and cool. And I've got my little miniature micro heater trying to keep me warm. It was just a bit too cool. Anyways, that's the joys of having your shack / office in the basement. Let's see, VA3 RTV Jeffrey, are you back with us yet? Okay, nothing heard. And Lois, she said they canceled golf today because it was too hot. Lois. You better get on your knees and beg for forgiveness tonight because you never cancel golf because it's too hot. Very good. Well, it had the tendency, it had the distinct possibility to be possibly miserable out there, but still. I remember once when we were down in Tennessee visiting family, my oldest son and I, of course, he was only about 10 at the time. We went out on July 4th, and it was 104 degrees outside. And Tennessee, if you think we have humidity here, you don't want to ever go to Tennessee in the summer because you sweat just getting out of your car, walking to your front door. And anyways, we get to the golf course, a beautiful Jack Nicklaus course. We play the first 9, and we come in, and there's not a soul on the golf course. We come in to the clubhouse. Of course, we're dripping wet now. And everybody's just in the clubhouse eating and drinking and having a good time. And they look at us and they said, well, you guys were just out playing? And I go, yes. They said, you can play in the heat? And I says, listen, I said, we're from Canada. I says, we don't care how hot it is. We'll play golf. I said, it's hard to play golf when it's minus 20. So, and so we had something to eat, something to drink, and then we headed back out for another 9 holes. Anyways, back up to the top. Before we go to the top, let's see if Scott came back. VE3CQK.
XEQ.
Was that Christopher, VE3XEQ?
Roger, Dodger. Yep, that's me. All me. Do you want me to transmit now, or you want me to wait till you have something to say?
Yeah, we'll put you on hold now until Friday night. How's that? No, no. Go ahead now, Christopher, and welcome to the Rag Chew this evening.
Well, thank you very much, there, Laird and the Motley Crew. I want to talk about my favorite subject, which happens to be
ice cream.
And I can say that, I was born back in the 50s and grew up as the youngest member of a herd of 13.
Wow.
So you could kind of get an idea why I would be self-centered. My sisters used to dote over me something terrible when I was a kid. And, of course, at the dinner table, all I got was slim pickings most of the time until they all decided to vamoose with their girlfriends or whatever. And I finally got the turkey leg when I was about 15. But it was nothing unusual. Back in the early 50s, big families. We had Catneys had 17 in their family. But see, that's my favorite subject. That's why it's favorite to me. And it's all my sister's fault. They shouldn't have doted over me and made me feel so self-centered. Back to you, Larry.
Oh, very good. I had one sister that doted over me, and then there's that sister from hell. No. We'd argue if she just looked at me the wrong way. Anyways, very good, Christopher. Yes, and I bet you your mother, when she was trying to get mad at someone, she probably went through about 6 or 7 names before she finally got to the one that she was really mad at.
Well, I don't know about that, but I always wondered how she ever fed us all. I knew there was a whole slew of cats in the neighborhood, and they slowly disappeared, and I was always suspicious of this too.
Oh, very good. Very good. Okay, before we head back up to the top, I'm just going to take another quick call for check-ins. So if anybody would like to join in on the COVID-19 Rag Chew this evening, now's your opportunity.
Well, how about a late check-in? Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Tango Bravo of Bill Oswald. Good evening.
Okay, very good. I got VA3 WTB. Now, there is a long-distance station. Put it this way, if I were to go to my front porch and Bill was on his front porch, we could probably yell across Adelaide and talk to each other. Good evening, Bill. And I believe there was a couple of other stations in there, too. Those other stations, go ahead.
Sierra Bravo Delta.
Okay, and I acknowledge Martha, VA3SBD. Was there a third station, too? Okay, nothing heard. So it is Wide Open Wednesdays and on the COVID-19 Rag Chew. So, Bill, take it away. VA3 WTB, VE3 LKS.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody. I hope my 5 watts is getting into the repeater okay, and I hope it is. I got up and did my antenna work, as I said I was going to Laird, and I got my 2-element beam up there for the 20-meter band, and when that starts to
work a bit better. That'll be a lot of fun to use, and put the rotor up there, so now I can turn my 5-element beam to 240 and 2-meter antenna around, and I got it pointed pretty well at the up at Purple Woods, I think, and at least it's giving me an S20 signal here, so that should do the trick. Not much more to add, just hope we get some rain tonight. We're supposed to, and I put the sprinkler out a little while ago to do the front yard, and my wife says, why are you doing that? It's going to rain later. I said, it's going to rain, and so I darted upstairs and took a look at the weather radars that you can get online, and yeah, there's something heading our way for sure. So I promptly went out and put the sprinkler away, and we'll let Mother Nature take care of the lawn. Other than that, I'm not a real lawn watering person. If it really goes into a drought this summer sometime, I'll probably just let it go brown and go dead, because I'm not dumping hundreds of dollars of water on the front lawn. We'll talk to you later, and nice group here tonight, big group. This is VA3WTB. Back to you, Laird. Go ahead.
Yes, very good, Bill. Well, and your 5 watts is getting into the repeater, no problem, perfect sound. And sorry I didn't get back to you the other day, but it ended up, the Bell guy showed up to work on the phone line that was dead, and he jiggled something in the box at the corner, and all of a sudden our internet went dead, and that's why when we were chatting there, I had to run real quick, because Connie's teaching online, so all of a sudden she couldn't teach and I couldn't work. So sorry for dumping you so quickly there, but that's what that ended up. And so he ended up having to run a new line just from the box to the tree in front of my house, over to my house and down into my basement. And that's how I'm temporarily hooked up. And this weekend sometime they're coming to hook up the fiber optic cable, because they put fiber optic all through our neighborhood last year. I think they did on your side of Adelaide too, Bill. So they're just going to switch it over to fiber and be done. And the good thing is I'll have 150 megs or gigabits per second each way, up and down. So it'll be nice when all is said and done, and it won't cost any extra. So, but I'm a bit disappointed you didn't call me to come and stand at the base of the tower and in case you fell there. But as I said, anytime you needed a hand, need someone on the ground, give me a shout. I'm only a few steps away. And glad to have you with us, and hope you stick around for the second round as well. And Martha, VA3SBD, good evening and welcome.
Time out.
Yeah, good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency. I'm going to be probably not around for the second round, as I'm just literally down the road from Cedric's house. I have to go change his dressings again. He unfortunately got bit at work earlier this week, and I'm the lucky one that gets to change the dressings, because I guess it's hard to change wood pads and all that stuff with a single hand. So I thought I'd pop in before I get to his place, and I may be around for the second round. I may not be. I honestly don't know, but thought I'd just check in with you tonight.
Awesome, Martha. Well, glad to have you with us. And the way it's going, it's probably going to be about 8:30 by the time we get to you on the second round. So you got lots of time there to get in there and do your thing and get out again. So, but we will call for you. If we don't hear you, then we know what's going on. But thanks for checking in. And is there, let me see, one last call. Is there anyone else that would like to join the Rag Chew this evening before we go back to the top?
Just let you know I'm back, VA3RTV.
Oh, okay. Very good, Jeffrey. Well, listen, how far down the list were you? Okay, why don't you take it away, since this is your first round, basically, and we'll let you have a decent conversation this time.
Well, thank you, Laird, and good evening, everybody. And really, nothing to say. I've just got in the car, and I'm just heading back from my friend in South Pickering. So, anyway, enjoy the evening, and I'll just be monitoring, and maybe second time around I'll have picked up a few bits and pieces to talk about. VA3RTV.
Okay, very good. I'll give Scott one last call too. VE3CQK. Are you back with us, Scott? Okay, nothing heard. And since Lois is listening at home, she knows that Jeffrey's on his way. So very good, Lois. And glad that Jeffrey left the radio on so you could listen. VE3PWJ. Man, it's been a while since I talked to you, Peter.
I've had a great net, a lot of great folks in there tonight, and you're going to really like the Bell Fiber when you get it in, because we have it here, and I've got the Bell 5 on the computer, I've got it on the tablet and on the cell phone, so I can watch TV and all those devices. So it works pretty good, so you're going to be looking forward to all that, I think, Laird. So anyway, we'll carry on, let you carry on there, and we'll say 7-3 from here, not unless you're still on later on, but we'll let you go and get some more beans if you can. It sounds like you're getting near the end of this. So we'll say 7-3 from here, Laird. Good evening to all.
Okay, very good, Peter. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the fiber too. I had Bell 5 before, but again, that's just on copper, right? So now I've got Bell 5, but it's coming in over actual fiber. And the only thing I may do is I am getting the voice over IP phone service, because before I was just on POTS, plain old telephone service. But what I may do is I may build my own voice over IP service and then dump the Bell one, because I think it's like $60 a month on the bill for just for the phone. And if I can build my own little voice over IP service server, I think I can probably do it with a Raspberry Pi. Then I can eliminate that totally and save myself a few shekels every month. VA3 AMP, Alex.
Won't be up much longer. We'll have to cut it short. I got to go be somebody's labor tomorrow. Not much driving jobs, but it's work of some kind. Keep busy. But yeah, it sounds kind of interesting, that Bell Fiber plan. I don't know how much more it is in the regular line and how fast the internet's going to be, or what you're up at, like if you're going to charge you any extra or the same. Probably give you a discount, and then after a few months, jack it right up to the roof. But yeah, I'll be listening to your reports and results there, and how happy you are. And if you build your Raspberry Pi for your own phone system there, maybe a few other people might be interested in that too down the road, but not right away. So we'll say 7-3. Catch you later. Have a good night, everybody. We got to go do some labor work tomorrow, so I got to get rested up. Bye for now.
Okay, very good, Alex. 73s, and have a good snooze there tonight, so that you're ready to go in the morning. And yeah, the whole Bell. I wish they didn't call their service FIBE, FIBE, because it implies that it's on fiber, but it's not. That's not necessarily the case. Up until, well, even now I'm still on Bell 5, but it's just on. Right now I'm on copper, which is just twisted pair. And it's running at about 50 megabits per second up, and I mean down, and about 8 megabits per second up. Now, when I switch over to the actual fiber, the fiber optic cable, there's not going to be any increase at all in my costs. As a matter of fact, I jump to a higher speed. I'll be 150 megabits per second up and 150 megabits per second down. But there's no, as a matter of fact, it's going to be $5 a month cheaper, apparently, than what I'm paying now. But as I say, if I can build my own voice over IP phone server, which I think I probably can, then I can eliminate about $60 off my monthly bill. So it should drop it down to about $160 a month then. Let's see, VE3 CRU Bill.
Okay, VE3 CRU here, just looking at about 300 degrees in the sky there. You can see the sun is behind clouds. The rest of it is pretty well clouded over. There's a nice cool breeze coming in here, but since it's wide open Wednesdays, well, we got to continue. So this week they say, for the club, it's activation weekend to see how many you can work on as many bands as you may have, and that can be within the club, that can be beyond the club, and the Ontario VHF Association, which is quite involved in this, in the January contest, they came less than 300 points in being the top contest in club in the whole contest. California beat them out. So, of course, they want to do better this time, so they'd be more than happy to include your log of any and all stations that you work to be able to get that number one position. So they say, give it a shot, and the one thing I will say, doesn't matter how many you work, doesn't matter how few you work, the chances are you'll beat your president. So there's your challenge. Everybody in the club, let's see how well you can beat your president. Okay, Larry, back to you.
Yeah, the president has taken a beating tonight, that's for sure. But that's okay. It's all for a worthy cause. I'm always up. I'm always game for that. Let's see. VE3HIX, Bob.
Oh, thanks again, Larry. Just back in from my chores and having a look at the weather map. I see some trees down out west of here, but the moving weather map from King City shows that all the reds, yellows, and even the greens are turning into blues. So it's chances are it's going to be pretty mild by the time it hits here. We really need that night's worth of rain without the huge winds and thunder and so on to go with it. And for everybody out there to have your antennas unplugged when you go to bed tonight. With that, nothing more exciting here. I've just got some bits and pieces from my neighbor here to do some repairs on the deck. And he's very generous guy. He's a leftover project from his deck. He says, yeah, borrow the screws. You can have the wooden boards left over. I just hit him at exactly the right time. Back to you, Laird, VE3HIX.
Oh, well, that worked out perfectly then. So glad to hear that. Oh, and let me see. I'm seeing some things on YouTube here. Just in case anybody's wondering what I'm talking about, YouTube. We do live stream the Rag Chew every night on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and look up my call sign, Victor Echo 3 Lima Kilowatt Sierra, you'll see yours truly in his shack transmitting. There's a whole bunch of guys and gals in the peanut gallery that make all sorts of comments. So if you're a YouTube registered user, which doesn't cost anything, but it allows you to make comments, you can join in all the fun and frivolity. And let's see, Gary Zed says cottage internet is 4 megabits per second, city is 160 megabits per second. And the cottage service is more expensive. Yeah, isn't that always the way? It's probably just because it's there's not as many users along that line, Gary, so they have to make up their money somehow. And that's how they do it. They just increase the prices, which probably makes sense, but it does sort of make you scratch your head sometimes. VE3IRB, Robert.
VE3IRB, a few things here. In regards to the Norwegian landslide, if you're interested in a Canadian aspect to that, look up the Frank slide on Turtle Mountain, Alberta. And as regarding the mention of the quick clay, yeah, watch out if you're digging a hole. People often get killed digging around the foundation and that in clay. It looks hard, but if it's got too high a water content, it can suddenly just basically liquefy and collapse in. People get hurt about that all the time. Not often in this area. I heard of it happening in Newcastle once, so a friend of mine it happened to, but he'd actually climbed out of the hole to get something to eat, and the whole thing collapsed. The software for Field Day, I've downloaded it. I just got the email while I was on the radio here. They're offering me an upgrade for a few extra dollars. Now I've got the discount rate on it and all that, but is it worth taking that extra package? It give me some feedback on that if people think it's good or not. Back to you.
Yeah, if it's the same thing I got, Bob, when I signed up, it's for, I think it's for their whole logging software. So if you're heavily into DXing and logging, then it's probably not such a bad deal. And I think it includes all their products, I believe, if I read it correctly when I saw it. Myself, I just said basically no thanks. I don't do too many contests myself, and I use the log on qrz.com, and I also use Logbook of the World, and you'll see that as LOTW places. And so I just use those for logs, but it all just depends on how serious you're going to get, and whether you can whether the benefits of the software will be good for you. And I'll let other guys comment too as we go along here. But I know their field day software is good. We've been using it for years, and it's really great for field day. Let's see, VA3 TPS Steven, you may have a comment on that. I'm not sure which logging software you're using, but maybe you have a few words that you could throw Bob's way.
Okay, that's very good. Just before I comment on that, so you were just resting your eyes in the backyard. I would kind of think you were sound asleep in the backyard, and the snoring probably chased away the chipmunks. Huh? Now on to the AC log. Bob, yeah, I use that. I have been using it for years. If you get the complete package, you get all the different contests. Everything gets out there, and it's. I guess if you're a heavy contester and you're really good, like really fast and do a couple thousand QSOs, there are some better ones. But this thing is more than enough for the average contester, and it does everything. Logbook of the World, notifications, EQSL. It's a good program. And if you have any problems, the owners there, you email them, they usually respond within about 24 hours. But again, like Larry said, it does depend on how long, how much you're going to use it for. I guess if you're not going to do a lot, then it's probably not worth it. Anyways, that's about it. I'll still be listening to the end, and thanks, Larry. Great job. VA3 TPS.
Excellent, Steve. And yes, I'll neither confirm nor deny your statement there at the beginning. Oh, very good. And for those on YouTube, you may have just seen, I hope I didn't swear, that's for sure. I just banged my knee really good on my desk. And I think I was able to hold my tongue, but if I didn't, please forgive me. Let's see, VE3 VGJ Joe.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, I got my logging software there last week there. And yeah, I saw all the offers they're offering, but I'm just going to stick with this one for now. And yes, Robert, on the landslide, when I was looking, I see Quebec has also had a number of those landslides. It sure is scary because it doesn't look like there's any warning or anything. All of a sudden, it just starts moving on you. And it's surprising. It's mainly all the northern countries, Canada, the Scandinavian countries, and Russia and that, where this exists. It's kind of neat how it was formed as well as a result of the glaciers and that. Other than that, not much else to report on here tonight, Laird. I'll be staying around there till the end there and see if I can help Aldo there at all. Back to you.
Okay, excellent, Joe. And I'm looking forward to listening to that conversation too. VA3 DCE Doug.
Hello, back again, Laird. Thank you very much. I haven't thought of anything to say since the last time I was on, so I'm just going to listen on to the end, and I learn something every time somebody comes on and says something, so I appreciate that. Back to you, Laird.
No problem, Doug. We're here to provide a service, and glad you're able to gain something from the Rag Chew every evening. And to be honest with you, I have too. I've learned quite a bit over the last, how many weeks is it now? 13 weeks. And so it has been fun and interesting. I don't know what we're going to do if this COVID thing ever ends, because we'll go back to normal where we just have the Rag Chew once a week, and And that may be different. Let me see. VA3AG Eldo, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, but it's going to be almost time for Din Din shortly. So maybe, Joe, can I give you my number? Maybe you can give me a shout later on, and we can get together here. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure, no problem there, Aldo. Just to let you know, I usually crash around 9 o'clock, but before that, no problem at all.
Okay, leave it for another day then. I got the software working here. Software is working, so I'm just charging the unit up now, and it's still blinking away, so I have to wait until it lights up solid, and then maybe I can turn it on and play with it. But maybe another day I can call. You can call me earlier. Or you know what? I'll give you my number: 905-429-7320. 905-429-7320. Give me a call, and maybe we can arrange for a day where we can get together, maybe on direct or something like that, and play with this QSL.
Yeah, no problem there. Although actually, when it's flashing there on your software, try connecting to it if you have a chance. On the bottom corner, it should say, just calling it up here. There's a part there, rescan, and then connect. And even if it's charging, I would think you'd still be able to connect to it. But it's something just to try. Over to you there, Laird. And yes, I'll give you a shout there, and we can arrange a time. I don't know if you're available during the day. I can sometimes do something at lunchtime.
What's tomorrow? Thursday. I'll be at work until about 4 o'clock or so tomorrow. So maybe after that, after your dinner, if you give me a time, maybe we can get together then. I have the program up and running here, and I can connect to it. No problem. I've done that already, so it's a matter of setting the sweep controls here and actually trying to make some sense out of everything here. That's why I need a little bit of help.
Maybe we can get Laird involved with this, and he can set us up a little Zoom meeting there, tomorrow evening.
That's possible, but you can also use, if it's just the two of you, a team viewer is good, because then if you need to, you can take control of actually his computer and do things.
Yeah, I have TeamViewer here, I think.
Yeah, if it's just one of you, or like if it's just two of you, TeamViewer has the added benefit of being able to take control of the other person's station and computer, and if you're trying to show them something, and sometimes it's not always easy to describe. Okay, very good. Well, if you guys don't mind, I'll just carry on here, and I'll try to end the net, and we can, if Aldo gets back from Din Din, because we may still be another 20 minutes here, you guys can try hooking up again tonight, maybe before 9. VA3 BTQ, Jackie.
Hi, Laird and everybody else. Don't really have much to add to this. I'm sitting here watching the trees sway a heck of a lot more than when we started. So I think things are on the way. Other than that, over to you.
Okay, very good, Jackie, and thanks for the warnings there. And yes, Gary Zed was saying that on 443.050, I'm not sure which repeater that is broadcasting weather warnings. So that must be one of the CanWarn stations that's hooked up. one of the repeaters of the can warn, I should say, and so they must be expecting a good one coming through. Of course, here in Oshawa, it's crazy. You know, we'll have storms all around us, but for some reason, Oshawa seems to avoid a lot of that. You know, you'll get it up in Port Perry, you'll get it in Toronto, you'll get it over towards Bonneville, Newcastle, and Oshawa doesn't seem to get affected. I don't know what's the geography or what, but well, it's better to be safe than sorry. Let me see. VE3CQK. Scott, are you back with us? Okay, nothing heard. VE3IGX. Cam.
Okay, nothing else on this end. So I'll say 73 to everybody online, and I'll be monitoring to the end. VE3LKS, VE3IGX.
Okay, Cam. Let's see. What was I going to say there? Totally slipped my memory, but then I'm trying to.
V3LKS, V3RPN. I'll make her quick, buddy. Anyway, great job. Super bunch, super net, very interesting stuff. Hope you didn't hurt yourself too bad on the desk there, but I don't think you said too much there, Pierre. Maybe fuddle-duddle, but did I say Pierre? I meant Laird. But fuddle-duddle is not a bad word. Anyway, keep up the good job there, buddy. And by the way, White Feather Farms hot sauce is fantastic. I ate half the bottle. Not quite as hot as yours, but it's fantastic. And those chicken pot pie things I got, oh boy, they're good. I got to get the beef ones there on the weekend. Anyway, keep up the good work, buddy. V3RPN, over to you.
Excellent. I'm glad the hot sauce is nice. You'll have to show me which one that was when we were up there again. And did you try any of the chili jelly?
Oh, I forgot about the chili jelly. You'll have to remind me. This old mind of mine that kind of slipped. I want to make sure I get some of that. I've got some at home from a friend of mine, but I imagine White Feathers nailed it. They always nail everything they make. I like the chili with the beans too. But anyway, I've got some of the chili. I got a tiny freezer. My one downstairs got a dead turkey. It's been in there for about 7 years now, right next to my ham radio stuff. Outside the freezer so far. I haven't checked. Maybe the wife moved it in the freezer. Anyway, we'll check it on Saturday. Take care, buddy, and everybody on that 73V3RPN. Over to you, Nick Control.
Okay, very good, Scott. I think when all is said and done, Ubert may end up leaving the dining area closed, but I think he's making more money off of us buying other stuff in there than he is when we go up there for breakfast. Oh, very good. Glad you were able to join us this evening. VA3RTV Jeffrey, and are you home safe and sound now?
Yeah, thanks, Laird. And actually, I'm just turned on to Pebblestone, so I'm just about 2 minutes from home. And just as a matter of interest, the Ontario Science Centre was one of the very first to be wired with fibre optics. Of course, only up to a point, and then it becomes, the regular coax. But that would have been the start of the Information Highway, which was engineering, and that was early 90s. So, there's so many advantages using fibre optics, because it's completely immune from interference. I think that's probably the main thing. Any case, with that, have a good evening, everybody. VA3RTV.
Okay, very good, Jeffrey. And being the Science Center, I'm sure they probably had a lot of things before the general population had access to those. So excellent. Maybe you should go through a list of stuff like that some night for us and let us know what kind of goodies they had long before we did as consumers. VE3XEQ Christopher.
Yeah, that would be me. Yeah, I had a pretty good day today, with the exception of I had a low blood sugar episode, which made me rock and roll and do the funky chicken and I didn't even feel like dancing, Laird. So I had to, get into the chocolate frozen yogurt to correct my blood sugar, and sure enough, then I was fine after that. All is good in Christopher's world. Trust me, you can't get rid of me that easy. You can try, but you're not going to succeed. Anyway, just remember, like I say always, be kind to somebody. Extend the olive branch to your sister. Test your intestinal fortitude, and be nice to the one that you're always having those thoughts about. Take care, Laird. It was a great day. 7-3, everybody. Have a good night. B3XDQ. Back to that.
Oh, Christopher, you're asking an awful lot. Number one, we'd never want to get rid of you, and we wouldn't want to see your demise. Number two is if you're ever bored, look up the price of a top grade Wayne Gretzky card and multiply it by 12. And let's see, a certain sister threw a whole box of those out one summer when I was away at school and she was cleaning up the attic. Anyways, we won't say anything more because I don't want to get my blood pressure going. Let's see, VA3 WTB Bill.
Okay, well, very good. I don't have very much to add. It's been a very nice evening and entertaining. I didn't have much else going on, and always nice to hear a group of people conversing the way they were, and good to hear you, Laird. Sounds chipper as usual, and you did a good job. But we'll talk to you again, and 7-3 to everyone on frequency. This is Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Tango Bravo.
Oh, very good, Bill, and thanks again for joining us. It was nice having you with us, and remember, anytime you need to climb the tower and you need someone on the ground to spot, I'm your guy. I'm just down the street, and I'd be happy to do it for you. Have a great evening, Bill, and hope we hear you on more often. VA3 SBD, Martha, are you done your good deed of the evening? I guess we can call you Florence Nightingale. No, it sounds like Martha's still busy. So with that, I will take one last round to check in. So if anyone's out there listening, wanting to jump into the COVID-19 Rag Chew, now's the time to pick up your microphone, hit the push to talk, and give us your call sign.
Did you miss EQK there, Laird, Scott? E3 LSO.
Okay, I copy VE3LSO, and no, Joe, as a matter of fact, I tried going back to him several times, and no reply. So he did check in the first round, but then he wasn't there when it was his turn, and I tried several times after that.
Oh, sorry about that, Laird. I missed him the first time as well, so my mistake. Apologize for that. Back to you.
No problem. I know you're just hoping that I would miss someone else. Anyways, Lee, VE3LSO, good evening.
Good evening, Laird, to yourself and everybody on frequency. Just out for a tour in the Jeep on a beautiful night. I've just come up to, where am I? Howden and Harmony. Just enjoying the night before any of the storms come through. And yeah, it's definitely a great night out here. Hope everyone else is enjoying it as well. And we'll turn it back to you, VE3LSO.
Oh, excellent. Glad you're out enjoying the vehicle. And there's one spot I always like. Whenever we're up at the repeater, when I'm coming home, when I come out of the conservation area, I'll turn right and head down the road there. I think it's not even quite a kilometer. And then you turn south onto Ritson Road. Now, at that point, it's just a dirt track, and it goes through the conservation area, but it's very pretty. I think it's only about a kilometer long, maybe a kilometer and a half. But it's so pretty in there because the trees overhang the road, and it's just so pretty. So if you're ever up that way, you can sneak in and out of the conservation area by going in that road, and it is quite nice. But yeah, enjoy the ride in the Jeep, and as you say, it's a beautiful night for it. Is there anybody else that would like to check into the Rag Chew? Okay, nothing heard. Lee, did you have anything else that you wish to say tonight?
No, nothing further at the moment there, Laird. Other than I'm all set for field day. I'm probably going to head up to the farm north of Bancroft with my cargo trailer all set up. So I guess that's only other news I've got. So again, thanks for taking my call, Laird. Back to you, VE3 LSO.
Okay, excellent, Lee. Glad you're going to be working field day up there, and I sure hope you have all the required permits.
You know I will, Laird. I wouldn't want to get a visit from somebody unexpectedly.
Oh, very good. I must admit that was a good one. And you had several of us scrambling there trying to figure out what the heck was going on. But it was good. I quite enjoyed that after the fact. And I'll probably remind you of it every once in a while, too. Okay, very good. Well, we've come to the end of this again. So before we close down the Rag Chew for this evening, does anybody have any questions or comments or anything else they need to say before we close down? If so, please come now.
VE3VGJ.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, just a question for Lee there. He says he's got a place north of Bancroft. I don't know, Lee, if you're still on frequency there. Just got a question for you.
Yeah, still here. The spot is actually Palmer Rapids. Mom and Dad are still on the farm up there, so that's where I'm planning on going.
Okay, very good. I'm familiar with the area there. I've not been to Palmer Rapids. No, we go up to a family cottage on the way up there. I'm not sure if you go up through Highway 28 and you see 90 Road. We're across there on a lake called Monk Lake. Monk, M-O-N-C-K. Back to you.
Yeah, I do take 28, and I've seen the sign for Monk Road quite a bit, so I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah, there's the Monk Road all over the place, but we're on Monk Lake, and it would be, when you're on 28, you see a road for Dino Road, which is just before Silent Lake Provincial Park. Anyway, that's the area we're in. Our township is Cardiff there. Just thought I'd touch base with you on that.
Oh, very good. Well, if you're ever up that way, and I'm headed up that way, we'll maybe grab a coffee or an eyeball, see how it goes.
Yeah, roger that. I have the APRS going, and I'll also be operating probably field day from up there as well. Back to you there, Lee.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I don't want to hold the Rag Chew up here, but yeah, we'll get in contact, and maybe we can do a contact over VHF while we're up there.
Sounds like a plan. 7-3.
And no worries about holding the Rag Chew up. We've come to the end, so this is now just a general discussion if anybody needs to ask questions or has any more comments. So with that, I will take... does anybody else have any more questions or comments?
VE3HIX.
Go ahead, Bob. VE3LKS.
Yeah, I was out for a good portion of this. Did Jackie come back to give us a definition of what a ham shack was? She was going to look up some definitions for us this evening over.
No, she did not. But Jackie, are you still with us?
I am. I failed, but I will reprieve myself tomorrow. Over.
Okay, very good, Jackie. Well, you have a couple more nights, and then if you don't come Saturday, unfortunately we'll have to take Scamp away from you if you haven't been able to come up with an answer yet. Because we just can't let him live in that kind of a situation. Hi. And very good, Bob. Did you get all your plants watered tonight before the thunderstorm?
I know it sounds ridiculous, but the pots don't get watered. The plants in the ground do. It's it's really cloudy and black coming out here. So I had to get had to do some watering before it rained. Sounds ridiculous. Anyway, we'll be listening for you tomorrow night, and I've got definitions of what ham means and what an equipment shack is and so forth. But I wanted to see what Jackie comes up with. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow. VE3HIX.
Okay, very good. And does anybody else have any questions or comments for the group?
CIU always does.
Okay, nothing heard. Okay, go ahead, Bill.
Okay, I knew you were going to get me. Everybody mentioned about disconnecting your antennas. I never disconnect the antennas in this vehicle, whether I'm in motion or whether you're in a storm or parked on a hilltop watching lightning bolts coming down. But what I have done while you were chatting away and I was sitting up on the hilltop, I carry a green painter's tape. And all I do is I make sure I seal the windows so I don't have water trailing in the coax and making a real mess inside the vehicle. I've had that too many times. I had documents destroyed. So that's all that I have done, and I'm ready for a storm. Let it come. Thanks for a great net, Larry.
You're welcome, Bill. And you know what? I know I've mentioned this a few times on here. I've never disconnected my antennas at home. I just hook them up and leave them hooked up. But I don't know. Now you guys got me all scared. Chances are if I leave them connected tonight, everything will get blown to bits. So I may have to go and disconnect them too before I go to bed. It's just too bad there's not an easy way to do it because you got to unscrew everything. But I guess it's just two connectors, but still a pain in the neck. Anyways, any other questions or comments?
Just want to say VE3DKW had a very bad lightning strike on his tower there, and that messed up a lot of equipment there. And I know another fellow was in the Pickering Club, long not heard from since there. He gave me an antenna that had been hit by lightning there, and it completely melted everything. Back at 7th.
Okay, very good. Yeah, lightning can do that. It's not fun stuff to play with. Any other further questions or comments? Alrighty, well, it's been a great evening. I'd like to thank everyone for participating and for all those online as well. And, there was, let me see, Lois was on there. Darren in Montreal is on there. Gary Zed was in with us. So on the YouTube channel, and the other guys that were on the radio were also on the YouTube channel chatting away. So that's great. And with that, I'll say 73 and hopefully hear from you guys tomorrow with radios that are working and not fried by the lightning storm coming through tonight. This is VE3LKS, and I'll say 73.